As America stands at the crossroads of a potential election, the question of Donald Trump's health has become a national conversation. While all candidates face scrutiny, Trump's increasingly visible health struggles have escalated beyond mere curiosity, raising urgent questions about his mental and physical capabilities to lead. With a series of concerning public appearances, both his supporters and critics find themselves confronting a possible crisis. Is Trump capable of the monumental responsibilities of the presidency? In this video, we will examine the layers of evidence and theories surrounding Trump's health. From his erratic speech patterns and physical stumbles to the unexplained Walter Reed visit and his impulsive behavior, the signs point to an ongoing issue that may have significant implications for national governance. We'll analyze reactions from medical experts, public figures, and everyday Americans as they process the possibility of Trump's health decline, exploring the ripple effects it could have on American politics, the electorate, and global relations. 1. The Walter Reed visit, scrutinizing an ominous chapter. The mystery of Trump's 2019 Walter Reed visit remains a focal point in speculations about his health. This unscheduled visit, which deviated sharply from typical presidential medical practices, is often cited as the starting point of deeper concerns. Unlike routine physicals, which are scheduled well in advance and widely publicized, this visit was shrouded in secrecy. The White House's explanation that it was part of a routine checkup did little to quell suspicions, as the timing, location, and lack of disclosure painted a different picture. Adding fuel to the fire, reports later surfaced that Trump allegedly displayed stroke-like symptoms. Dr. Bandy Lee, a psychiatrist who has studied Trump's behavior extensively, pointed out in interviews that the secrecy surrounding the visit aligns with efforts to hide significant health issues. When world leaders conceal their medical conditions, it's often due to the severity and unpredictability of the diagnosis, she stated. This notion resonates with the concerns of other experts who view such secrecy as indicative of underlying neurological or cardiovascular issues that could compromise a person's cognitive function over time. 2. Cognitive decline, a pattern of verbal and behavioral slips. Since the Walter Reed visit, Trump's public appearances have been increasingly peppered with moments of confusion, verbal slippage, and behaviors some describe as erratic. During a rally in Pennsylvania, for instance, he referred to herd mentality instead of herd immunity, a simple slip but one of many that signal potential issues with memory recall and speech. He's also repeatedly stumbled over words like origins, calling it oranges multiple times, and appears unable to correct himself. Experts in neurology point out that such difficulties are not necessarily definitive of dementia, but they are consistent with symptoms of cognitive decline. Dr. Richard L. Baum, a geriatric psychiatrist, suggests that repetitive verbal slip-ups might indicate neurological issues. When someone repeatedly struggles with certain words, it can be symptomatic of deeper language processing problems, which often accompany conditions like dementia. Moreover, Trump's difficulty in adapting to these gaffes suggests a rigidity of thought that is unusual for his age, especially for someone of his past agility in handling language. 3. Escalating disinhibition and inappropriate comments. Trump's recent campaign trail behaviors have brought a new layer of concern: his increasingly inappropriate public comments. This behavior, characterized by making lewd or socially inappropriate remarks, can be symptomatic of frontotemporal dementia, FTD, a condition known for its impact on impulse control and personality. In Arizona, Trump shocked the audience by simulating a sexual act with a microphone, an incident many called bizarre and unsettling. These impulsive and sexually suggestive comments, which have surfaced frequently in recent years, could hint at disinhibition, a symptom often associated with neurodegenerative diseases affecting the brain's frontal lobe. Patients with frontal lobe damage may lose their social filters, explained Dr. Jane Thorpe, a neurologist specializing in neurodegenerative diseases. This can lead to behaviors that are impulsive and inappropriate. Trump's seemingly inexplicable remarks about women in the audience, combined with the disregard for social cues, suggest a struggle to control impulses, possibly exacerbated by declining mental health. 4. Struggles with memory recall and increasingly visible confusion. Trump's frequent confusion about names and places has raised concerns among those who closely monitor his public appearances. For instance, he has referred to Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance as J.D. Mandel, confusing him with another political figure entirely. He has also mispronounced or forgotten the names of longtime allies, which raises red flags for observers who view these memory lapses as indicative of cognitive issues. Moreover, Trump's tendency to become sidetracked or to trail off mid-speech has prompted speculation about his cognitive focus and attention span. This, combined with his reliance on vague descriptors and nonspecific language, suggests that he may be struggling with information retention. Dr. Mark Fisher, a neuropsychologist, points out that memory lapses of this nature are common in the early stages of cognitive impairment. For someone like Trump, who has historically been sharp and quick to recall details, this change is striking and noticeable to many Americans. 5. Physical instability, an overlooked warning sign. One of the lesser discussed but visually apparent symptoms is Trump's physical unsteadiness. In recent public appearances, he has appeared unsure of his movements, with episodes that include staggering down ramps, leaning heavily on podiums, and requiring assistance from aides. While his team has downplayed these incidents, claiming that his unsteadiness was due to slippery surfaces, many believe these are signs of a larger issue. Neurologists have noted that an unsteady gait or difficulty with balance could be related to neurological conditions affecting the brain's motor control areas. Dr. Robert Johnson, a neurology professor at Stanford, explains, motor dysfunction often appears as one of the early symptoms in certain neurodegenerative diseases, especially those affecting the brain's basal ganglia and cerebellum. For Trump, whose history of public appearances shows a confident and powerful physical presence, these changes could indicate a progressive health problem affecting his motor skills. 6. Public and political reactions, polarization and concern. The public's reaction to Trump's health concerns is polarized, reflecting the broader political divide in the country. Supporters argue that such critiques are baseless and exaggerated, pointing to Trump's high-energy rallies and lengthy speeches as evidence of his stamina. They claim that the health concerns are little more than a politically motivated smear campaign intended to undermine his appeal. Critics, however, view the incidents as undeniable evidence of cognitive and physical decline, suggesting that the secrecy surrounding his medical records supports their claims. "We have a right to know if our leaders are physically and mentally fit to govern," said journalist Jim Acosta in a recent op-ed. A refusal to release medical records only deepens public suspicion. In recent months, several Democrats have called for Trump to undergo cognitive testing and release the results, echoing similar calls made during his presidency. His refusal to comply only adds to the unease surrounding his health. Donald Trump's behavior on the campaign trail reveals a worrying pattern that is difficult for even his supporters to ignore. The combination of memory lapses, physical instability, and increasingly inappropriate remarks paints a picture that many find concerning. With each new incident, Americans are forced to consider the real possibility that Trump's health could compromise his ability to lead. Transparency around a leader's health is not only an ethical obligation, it is a practical necessity. In a time of global uncertainty, the United States requires a leader who can handle the demands of the office with clarity and precision. Trump's ongoing refusal to release medical records further fuels speculation that he may have something to hide, a decision that only adds to public distrust. Ultimately, this issue transcends partisan divides. For any public figure, especially one as polarizing as Trump, the question of health is not about personal privacy, but about accountability to the people they serve. The American electorate deserves a clear answer. Is Trump physically and mentally fit to be president? As concerns grow and speculation intensifies, the need for transparency has never been more urgent. Whether Trump will address these questions head-on or continue to evade them remains to be seen. Until then, voters will be left to wonder whether they can trust a leader whose health appears to be failing.